Okay, so here we are, having a look at this perennial problem which I finally seem to have solved. So I thought, since I've managed to solve it after all these years, might as well do a video on it, so that hopefully some other people can benefit from what I've managed to discover. So as you can see, we have here a heater, butane heater, and two butane stoves. And now you might think to yourself, there's nothing much going on here. They both the stoves look the same, and no, just thinking that I wish I'd done this on maybe I should use my other phone, because this phone's got the classic Android problem of the autofocus, which Google loves not to fix, but I think I'll just make do with this. So as long as you can handle the Google special autofocus nonsense, then it doesn't look too bad anyway, since Google just don't seem to be able to understand how to do autofocus properly. So as you can see, we've got 3 cans and we've got 3 stoves, and now all 3 of these stoves are supposed to be compatible with butane cans. And I mean, the cans, they look the same, and so you'd think that, well, you could put all of them into each of these stoves and everything will be fine. But let's see what happens, what actually happens when you try. So first of all, so let's see what happens when you actually try. So first of all, what I'm going to do is put the cans into the each of them and essentially show you what happens. And so let's just go through this. I'm going to start with the heater first. So let's get this going. Okay, so this first one is called Titan gas, and so this cartridge is one that I was using at first. And so let's see what happens when we try and put it into this heater. Right, so as you can see, it's in, and so what it is, it's got a magnetic connection, and so that sort of holds the can onto the don't know what you call that, the atomizer or whatever you want to call it. So let's see how that performs. Right, so hopefully I won't end up burning the camera. So let's see what happens. Right, so as you can see, that worked fine. And you see it lit up, and so that works good. So actually I said that a bit wrong earlier, that this wasn't the first. No, this was the second. This was the third set of cans I bought, actually. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, this was actually the third set of cans that I bought. So let's take this one out, and you just have to separate it. Okay, so alright, so remember, so if you buying this type of a heater with a magnetic connection, this stupid Android autofocus is annoying. Okay, that's better. So if you're buying this kind of a heater with a magnetic connector, then this Titan gas will work. So it's just this Titan gas, and it's what was it, 227 grams. So let's try the next one. Right, so now this is a can from our Korean friends. So this was shipped over from Korea, and it's so I'm going to put this one in. Alright, so as you can see, that's in there now. Alright, so let's see what happens with this one. Right, okay. So as you can see, that lights up nicely. So now this can was the one which was the, you could say it was the last in a long line of problems and money wasting or whatever, because it's just the same old looking can, same 227 grams, and you think, well, it's just a butane can, so it should work, shouldn't it? So let's find out. So as you can see, that can's in. You see, it's in properly, just like the others, and nicely seated in. Let's see what happens. And of course, you get nothing. This is what has been plaguing me, because the thing about this heater is that I've had this for a while, and some cans would work and some wouldn't, but the majority of cans that I used didn't work. As you can see, just to make sure you see, it's properly on there just like the others, and I have to force it off. See, it was on solid, but notice, don't worry, there is there's plenty of butane in there, don't worry about that. So, as you can see, this is the reason why I'm doing this video, is simply because this heater, I've had this for a while. I think, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3, I can't remember how long, but I've had it for some years, probably 3 years. And in all that time, there's only been a few cans that worked in it. And this Strum butane gas was like the end of, you could say this was the end of the line. This was the last one of many that I tried which didn't work. And what was annoying, some cans would actually work one time, and then they wouldn't work. But then along came this Korean one, and it was like a champ. It just worked like a dream. And then suddenly this other one turned up, which I bought with another cooker, and it worked as well. So I was thinking, what's going on? Why is it suddenly now, after all these years, I get 2 cans that work like 100%? And I remember there was a can before, probably a couple of years ago, that worked, and then I couldn't remember which one it was. But now I want to make sure to do a video of it, so that if you're one of these people who've got one of these heaters, which has got a magnetic connector, then this Korean can, whatever it's called, and this Titan gas, butane gas, both of them seem to work. And you just have to hope. I think the Korean guys will be reliable because they're a little bit more expensive. But what you got to watch out is in case Titan gets clever on you and changes, something in the way it's manufactured. So now you might think, so now we got these 2 cans work. That means everything's fine now, isn't it? Well, now we get to the next part. Okay, so now we come to this cooker. So like I say, it looks like the previous one, but let's see what magical problems we get now. So now if I put the so remember, it was the Strom one, which was the unhappy one. So let's see. Remember, it didn't work in that heater. So let's see what happens in here. So that's lined up. And so if we charge it, just got to line this up. Right, so that's that. So as you can see, it's in, it's down. And so that's Strum, as you can see. So let's see what happens with this. Right, as you can see, completely fine. So notice there's nothing wrong with the can. The can works like it should. So showing you that this something about this can, it doesn't, that other fire just doesn't like it. Right, so now you saw how that works. So now if I put the next one, if I put this Korean one in, and you think to yourself, well, that won't work before, so this one should be a piece of cake. But let's try. Now what I have to do is sometimes the mechanism gets stuck, and so I have to just give it a bit of a helping hand at the back. But notice what's happening is I'm pushing down on the lever, and this is as far as it will go. What that shows you is that this can is something in it is slightly longer than the Strum can. And so, see, what it actually means is that there's something different about this can, which means in this cooker you can't actually insert it because it's something on it is too long. And the thing about it is that whatever's too long on this can is also whatever stops it. Sorry, whatever's too long on this can to make it work in this cooker also is what makes it work in the heater that you saw before. And this is essentially the reason why I've done this video, because you have to watch out because these cans are different. So when you go onto eBay or wherever and you buy a butane can, 227 grams, the cans are different, and you just have to watch out and hope you can get lucky. And the thing about it is, I don't even know precisely what you can ask the seller to find out what it is that, you know, what is the measurement which is different on this can compared to the others. And then as you can tell, obviously this Titan gas, this worked in the other heater, so guess what? You're going to have the same problem in this. You're going to have the same problem in this one as well. Right, so I'm just going to try and line it up. Alright, so now same problem. I'm pushing down as much as I can, but it will not go down. So this Titan gas, so this Titan gas has the same problem. Well, it's not a problem. It's the same. It has the same property that the Korean gas has, which is that something on it is too long for this cooker, but the strum is short enough to work in this cooker. But then anything which works in this cooker will not work in the other heater. And so it's like you have to essentially have two lots of cans. Although there's other ways around it, but here's the other solution. I'll show you what you can do if you end up with how to fix having the shorter or longer can. And guess what? The solution is just to buy a cooker which comes with one of those longer cans, and that's exactly what happened here. But here's the thing about this particular cooker is that I found that this one works so well with the longer cans that it could handle cans which are a mile long. So what I had to actually do is I had to stick a little coin on the end just to help it when it comes to getting the cans to engage properly at the end. And so now with this setup with the coin added to the piece at the back, I can actually get these Titan gas, because remember it wasn't working in the other one. So what it is, it's a 2p coin with some Gorilla Tape. So I've got to ease it in order to line things up. So now once I put that in, see, it just engages nicely. And if I turn it on, there you go. Look how nice that came on. See, and this is the Titan gas. So the solution there, obviously, as you can see, is just get another stove, and see, it nicely fits in. And the reason why this works is because I bought this Titan gas with this stove. So obviously the person who's selling it I obviously made sure that the Titan gas worked, and then as a bonus, it means also that the long Korean, the Korean one as well, which works in the heater, if I put that in, see, straight in, just a piece of cake. Let me turn that on. There you go. So there you have it. So that's what the solution to these annoying different can lengths is. And then the last thing I'm just going to do is just see if I can do some sort of comparison to see if we can actually work out what's going on. So now obviously this isn't scientific, but here we have the three classic cans. So we've got Korea, in the middle we got the Titan gas, and the Strom is on the right side. And when you look at them, I mean, you can kind of, when I look properly, it's hard to see in this image. But when I've looked at them, you can actually see that what the difference is that central column is a different height. And somehow, I think you can even sort of see it, that notice the central column sticks up in the two on the left, but on the one on the right, it's like the central column is more depressed. And so essentially, that's what the difference is between these cans. Is if the central column is a little bit more depressed, then it will work in one type of cooker, but not in the heater that I showed you at the beginning. But then the ones with a slightly taller central column will work. So unfortunately, I mean, you're just going to have to ask on eBay and just beg the seller. Says, can you give me a guess at what kind of central column the can actually has? And that seems to be the only way you can really know which can is going to fit in which cooker you get. Or the other option, of course, like I did, is make sure that the first time you buy the heater or cooker, buy it with some cans, and of course those cans should fit. And all you got to do is remember to only buy those particular types of cans again every time you get it, so you don't end up with some cans that are a waste of time.